In this video, I'm going to discuss the top mistakes that I see business development reps make, why it's holding them back from being more successful, and most importantly, why it's hindering them from making more money. So let's go ahead and dig in. The very first mistake that I see, and this kind of encompasses everything, is most tech sales reps, they do not treat a job as if it is a 9 to 5. What I mean by that is one of the beauties and one of the luxuries of being in tech sales is you basically create your own schedule. Most sales reps have less than an hour of meetings a day that they absolutely have to be on. The rest of the day, they're able to create it however they want to be, especially since most of us are working from home. So what I see happen more times than not is a lot of sales reps, they take the mindset of major work-life balance. Like, hey, I'm going to work as little as I possibly can, and because of that, I'm not going to be burnt out, I'm going to be happier, and then sometimes they convince themselves, because of that, I'm going to do a better job. The issue of what happens more times than not is most sales reps sleep all day, they are very rarely actually home and actually doing work, and they think it's not making a difference. They think it's not really affecting the way they perform. I will tell you this, the people at your company, specifically your supervisors and the people who actually look at your quota attainment, they can tell if you're working or not. And most people are doing the bare minimum. It's unfortunate. And if that is you and you're not passionate about tech sales and you're just saying, hey, I'm just going to work as little as I can, I'm going to get by. I'm going to tell you, I don't agree with that path, but I know a lot of people do that. If you're someone who you truly want to be successful, you have aspirations of being an account executive, of working your way up and working higher and higher, you need to be working more. And the biggest comparison that I can make is, first of all, you're going to be a lot happier and you're going to have a lot less stress if you work more. And it sounds counterintuitive, but an example that I can give is when I was still in school, I'm not someone who loved school. I didn't enjoy studying. I hated school. And so what would happen is all semester long, I would either not show up to class, or I would show up to class, not really listen. I would not study. Like, I would do the absolute bare minimum to where I met the attendance requirement and I could somewhat get by in the class, but I wouldn't study. I would not read the textbook. Don't even get me started on that. But because of that, what would happen is at the end of the semester or at the end of every unit, what would we have? We'd have one big unit test. And I would have to, if I don't pass the test, I'm gonna have to retake the class. Fortunately, I never had to do that. But so what I would have to do is I would just have to cram. I'd have to study nonstop. I'd have to do all this extra work. I'd have to Quizlet and YouTube and do all of these random, just research over and over and over for hours. And I'd have to pull all-nighters and do this and that just for me to be able to barely pass the test or barely get the grade that I needed for me to get a B or an A or whatever it was. And every single time I told myself, you know what? If I had just paid attention all year long, I would have ended up having to do less work. I would be able to I wouldn't have to pull an all-nighter right now. I'd be happier. I would have actually learned. I'd be a lot less stressed, and I'd probably have a very, very, very easy A. And I would tell myself that every single time. Tech sales is very, very similar, okay? The people who are not trying because they feel like, hey, I'm going to play video games all day, I'm going to sleep all day, I'm going to do whatever I want, and they think it's going to make me happier. I'm going to tell you this, working hard and knowing you are at your goals and knowing, hey, I'm going to blow my quota out of the water. I don't have to worry about getting fired. I am a good employee. I'm doing exactly what I need to be doing. As corny, as fishy as that sounds, I promise you it's more rewarding. You will have much less stress. And at the end of the day, there's a baseline of work you're gonna have to do anyway if you want to hit quota. If you're not hitting that, you're not gonna be able to work at your job much longer. You're gonna have a baseline of work you have to do. If you make a decision in your mind, hey, I'm gonna work as hard as I can, I'm gonna make even more money, I'm going to enjoy doing this, and I'm going to promote quickly, I promise you will be happier. I promise. You will be happier working 5, 6, 7, 8 hours a day than doing the absolute bare minimum. You'll be happier, you'll be less stressed because you don't have to worry about getting fired. You're going to make a name for yourself at your company because everyone knows you work hard and most people unfortunately don't. So you're going to make a name for yourself. You're going to be able to promote and you're going to hit quota. And that's the biggest thing that I see. So many tech sales reps just try to scoot on by. I promise you will be happier and you will have less stress if you give your all. So let's get that out of the way. What is the next tip? The next tip is most business development reps do not have a great relationship with their account executives. So how tech sales works is the business development rep, they set meetings for the account executive to come over top, and then that account executive actually hosts the demo or hosts the meeting, and they're speaking to the prospect on a video call. And you have to have a really good relationship with your account executive for a few reasons. One, you want them to trust you. You want them to know you're working hard, you have their best interests in mind, because when you do that, they're going to give you more accounts. They're going to give you more people to prospect, and you're going to book more meetings because of that. Two, they're sometimes going to give you layups. They're going to give you some accounts or some meetings where it's like almost a given that you're going to book the meeting. It's like a layup. They're throwing you a bone. And that's going to help you achieve and attain your quota so much quicker, faster, and easier because they're helping you. So if, for example, if I'm an account executive, I have 2 reps, and I can only give a meeting to 1 rep. And I'm like, hey, if you reach out to this person, they're going to book a meeting. And that BDR is going to be able to make money from that meeting. If I have two BDRs that I'm working with, one is trying so hard and works with me and asks me how they can help me, and another is just scooting on by, who am I going to help? I would help the one who's giving me their all. So you need to be that person. You need to be that person that's going to help your account executive make their life so much easier. A few ways you can make their life easier. You can ask them, hey, what are your top accounts that, like, if I booked a meeting with these people, you would be ecstatic? Who are those people? They'll tell you, work as hard as you can to book those people for your account executive. Ask them, hey, how are my meetings going? Is there something I need to be improving on? Am I booking people who are too low level? They're not interested. They don't know why they're on the call. Do I need to work on that? Ask them. They will tell you, and they will value so much that you actually care about that. And then just show up. Just always be willing to work. Always be willing to book more meetings, to prospect more, to cold call when you have to send more emails. That makes a huge difference to these account executives, and they will make your life so much easier. And they're going to vouch for you within the company. They're going to help you promote quicker. They're going to tell others that, hey, this person, they're an awesome BDR. They need to be in this next position. Make a good relationship with your account executive. The next step, the next thing that I see so many business development reps struggle with is that they're just not cold calling. Like, so many people think, I'm just going to book all of my emails through cold call. I'm going to book all my meetings through email. I'm not going to cold call. I don't have to do that. And so many people think they're above cold calling. I'll tell you this, you can send 15, 20 emails to one person. They may never see that email. It could go to their spam folder. You can call them and you can get on the phone with them within 30 seconds sometimes. And I book majority of my meetings through cold calls. It saves me a lot of time. It helps me rise above the noise. Most executives in my organization have told me and my team, hey, I get a ton of emails. People are always reaching out to me, always sending me spam emails. I get very few cold calls. And the people who are cold calling, they don't cold call well. They sound like they're spammers. So what can you do to rise above the noise, to separate yourself from other BDRs who are trying to get your prospects' attention? Pick up the phone and cold call them, and do it consistently. Do it every day. Do it every morning. Do it every afternoon. Sometimes you can do it both. The more you cold call, there is a correlation. You will make more money. As long as you're cold calling the right people, you will book more meetings. It will save you time. It's the easiest way to get extra activity out. You can call 50 people in the same amount of time that you can send 10 emails. So don't neglect your emails, but cold call more. Find more prospects and give them a call every single day. The next mistake I see so many business development reps make is in regards to emails, they're way too customized. They're trying way too hard to make their emails sound like they know exactly the prospect. I'll give you an example. Once I was prospect, this is when I first started being a BDR. I had looked up a prospect on LinkedIn and I had somehow found like their wife's name or something like that. And I sent them an email and I was saying, hey, I was basically asking them to meet with me. And then I was curious, like, what are your favorite restaurants in your town? What do you and whatever their wife's name, what do y'all enjoy eating? And I was like, oh, they're going to know that I took so much time personalizing this and making this custom to them, they never responded, and I don't blame them. It's creepy. A lot of VPs will tell you, people research me so much, it's almost creepy, the stuff that I see in my inbox. Don't be that person. If you want to really customize your email, make sure you're just talking to the right persona. So send an email that relates to a marketing director, the stuff that they need, the stuff they want to hear, the stuff they're struggling with. And make sure that email is different than what you would send to a VP of sales or a VP of marketing. So I can't stress enough, make sure you're sending out an adequate amount of emails. But too many people focused on doing all their research, reading podcasts, reading blog posts, and doing all of this and making sure they're sending the exact right email to just one prospect. They spent 30 or 40 minutes on that one email, and guess what? It didn't even get read. The prospect didn't even see it. It didn't open it. Sometimes it works, and it can work, and if you are someone who has success that way, keep doing it. But I'm going to tell you, the majority of sales reps, you are going to be better by making sure you are speaking to the exact persona that you're looking to meet with. So you're meeting with the exact right person. For example, if I want to meet with a marketing director, I know they struggle with helping their team understand social media. That's something that I'm going to point out in my email to them. That being said, if I reach out to a VP of sales, they don't even have social media. So why would I ever mention something in regards to social media to a VP of sales unless it fits their exact role? When you're doing this and you're speaking to someone's exact role and the stuff they're going through and what they struggle with, they think it's personalized to them because it is the stuff that they're actually going through. And it's going to be a lot better received, and then you actually come across as an authority figure. So if you want to really personalize your emails, just make specific sequences that you could send to a VP of sales versus a VP of finance versus maybe a CEO or a marketing manager. Make sure you are speaking exactly to their role. Because of that, they're going to hear you out, and you have a much better chance of actually booking a meeting with them. Hope that makes sense. Finally, the biggest mistake that I see business development reps make that's holding them back from making an insane amount of money, the absolute biggest mistake, is they're not subscribed to my YouTube channel. I'm sorry, I had to do it, but that's the biggest mistake. If you're not already subscribed and you felt like I brought you value in this video, hit the subscribe button. I make videos once, twice, sometimes 3 times a week. I explain what tech sales is, how to make more money in tech sales, and just how to progress in your career. So hit that subscribe button. If you like this video, leave a like. Let me hear how you enjoyed this video. Leave any questions you might have down below. I'm more than happy to look at those, answer those, and give you a response. But thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope to hear from you soon.